While Tulsi Gabbard, the latest to prove that there is indeed life and indeed political oxygen, even if you are sucked out of a debate. Create buzz of your own. The Hawaii Congresswoman generating plenty of that with her charge that the president is, in her words, pimping out our soldiers to the Saudis. Good for the Saudis, she says, not so good for us. Now, Gabbard is not alone. Other candidates are finding there is life for those who don't get to the big stage. Here to discuss, Independent Women's Forum Andrea Botner, Democratic strategist Marjorie Clifton. I always say, and I'll end it with you, Marjorie, I'll pick your brain first on this, that whether you agree or disagree with the approach someone like a Congresswoman Gabbard is taking on this issue of Saudi Arabia, she's generating buzz, she's generating headlines, and given her appearance on this show last night, she is generating a lot of stories. So who says you need to be at the debate to get that?
Well, and frankly, when you look at the past debates, there wasn't a lot of differentiation happening with, as you kind of go down ballot, a lot of the candidates that were up there. And so I think at this point, this is almost the primary Hail Mary for a lot of them, and trying to figure out, can they get enough of the fundraising, enough of the followers to actually be a credible candidate? And look, we elected Donald Trump, who won on the same kind of tactics of how do you create a buzz, how do you draw attention to yourself, even if it is a little bit outlandish. So I think at this point, this is a strategy you're seeing, Beto, you're seeing others employ, trying out this sort of a little off the beaten path approach to getting attention.
I'm just wondering if others are taking cues, particularly from Tulsi Gabbard, about how to do that. What do you think, Andrea?
Well, I absolutely agree. It's anything for attention, whatever you can do to get to 2% and be on that Democratic debate stage next month. But what really bugs me about what she's done the last couple days, I thank her for her service, but because of her service, she should know and does know how devastating it is to go to war. And so when she's out there saying that the president's not moving quickly enough and we're the servants of Saudi Arabia, it's almost like she's taunting him to make a very quick and brash decision. And we've seen that he's not doing that. He's waiting for the facts to come in, and he's going to make an informed decision after working with our allies. So, I think a lot of her criticism, other than using some gross language, it's also disingenuine. And I take offense at it, especially because of her role as someone in our armed services.
Well, I also, on that particular one, I did correct her on something she thought the president had said, and whether you like or dislike the president, when it came for waiting up for reaction from the Saudis, I believe the president was stipulating he wanted more proof that the Iranians were behind it, and that the Saudis, obviously, since they had a lot of the shrapnel and everything on their territory, they would be able to quickly discern that. I don't believe he was going to then take orders from the Saudis to attack Iran. But be that as it may, there are candidates who do less controversial things. Andrew Yang comes to mind. When you think of him, Marjorie, and the mosh pit thing and the dancing and all, he's a very good dancer. And it gets attention. And I think that whether you're in a debate or not, that's the stuff that gets played. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I absolutely agree. I mean, even think about in the last debate, Julian Castro's one comment about why would anyone listen to any of us when we're talking this way? And I think kind of calling out in some ways what people think, what they like. Again, this is part of what the allure is of Donald Trump as a candidate to a lot of people. He says what's on his mind, whether you like it or not. He uses language that's offensive, whether you like it or not. And that does appeal to some people because it feels authentic. And I think that is what Andrew Yang is trying to do, is sort of authentically be different and own that, Silicon Valley tech approach. And I was recently in the area and talking to people, and people are talking about him. And Tulsi Gabbard is the conversation du jour.
Right.
Yeah.
And Beto's comments on guns as well. I mean, look, I mean, whether
buzz is buzz. It's not always good buzz, but it buzz is buzz. Now, imagine if the president were to start to do a mosh pit kind of a thing, or dancing, or Katie, bar the door. Ladies, thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.
Maybe I should try that. I should just do a little dancing. That would be scary. What am I thinking? Anyway.